Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dr. Mohammad Miraj Alam, Assistant Professor of Economics, Faculty of Education and Methodology, Jyoti Vidyapeeth, Women's University, Jaipur. In this lecture, I am going to discuss one of the topic from the Indian economy, that is Indian economy during pre-British period. This is the part of BA B.Ed program for the second semester student. Okay, Indian economy, one of the paper which is taught at the second semester of student for the BA B.Ed program. In today's topic, the name of the topic is that Indian economy British period during British period, which means इंडिया का अर्थव्यवस्था अंग्रेजों के आने से पहले कि क्या कंडीशंस थे उसके बारे में हम इस वीडियो में डिस्कस करेंगे. ओके, द कंटेंट ऑफ दिस टॉपिक इज स्ट्रक्चर एंड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऑफ विलेज, टाउन्स, इंडस्ट्रीज एंड हैंडीक्राफ्ट्स etc. We are going to understand the history of the Indian economy. Then we will discuss the structure and organization of villages, towns, industries, and handicrafts one by one. The study of economic activities of man over the period of time in India before the British rule. The study is little complex because India had ruled by Mughals, Marathas, local kings, Nawabs on the different parts of India. We should study the past to obtain the lesson for the present. Similarly, the study will help us in testing the hypothesis of economic theories. In this unit, we shall be able to present a general picture of the village, towns, and the economic activities undertaken in India during British rule. Okay. The subtopic of this topic is structure and organization of village. In this subheading, we will discuss what was the structure of village, what type of organization we are working within the village for the different purposes. Okay. As we all know about, old Indian villages were isolated and self-sufficient economic unit. What does it mean? Isolated means which is not interconnected to each other, right? The villages were mostly dependent and self-sufficient as well. They did not depend to others for feeding themselves. Usually they are produced almost every item which are consumable for themselves, right? Covering about 90% of population of India. In 1872, 68.5% of male population derived their livelihood from land. Further, people who were engaged in industrial occupation had agriculture as a subsidiary occupation. Villages were self-sufficient entities, as we all know that. There was a barter system of exchange. What does it mean? The barter system of exchange means the medium of exchange were not cash or any currency. The medium of exchange were used goods for the goods. That means if someone want to buy a cow and another person, those who have a cow, want to buy a wheat, They will exchange cow for the wheat. This is the system were followed during British period in India. Okay, this is the most old system of exchange of goods and services to each other. The reason behind that, there were lack of transportation and almost negligible communication were present. That means communication and transportation system were almost underdeveloped. The old economic order was governed and regulated largely by prevailing customs and status of the society. The joint family and a caste system decided the occupation of an individual. It means a person from a family, an individual from a family, do what work will they do, which is decided by their family. They are not capable to decide. If someone is capable as well, but they don't have power to decide what he or she want to. But the society and the whole family were responsible to assign the work. Okay. In the same manner, the occupation structure in the society were decided by caste. Caste in the pre-British India were one of the preeminent social factor, and most of the occupation were decided by caste they belong. There were so-called in Indian society, there were a caste system. Someone is belong to a higher caste, someone is belong to lower caste, which were followed in Indian society since a long period of time, which is still prevalent in some part of India. For example, the work of washerman and the washing of clothes and cleaning will belong to a particular caste. The work of barber will do only a particular caste people usually. So in that way, the work and occupational structure in the Indian society will depend on the caste they belong to, and how much they will pay against the work they have done is also decided by the society, not the individual person. The society will decide how much amount they have to pay for this particular work. Okay. So this was the condition of work structure in pre-British India. Rent paid by the cultivators to the landlord were customary. Wages were largely regulated by customs and the rituals of the society. The remuneration for hired labor for agriculture purposes. Customs also regulated prices of the produce of the farming community. There was a limited scope for the division of labor. What do you understand by division of labor? Division of labor means people usually are divided in the different group. according to their ability. Someone is a skilled labor, someone is an unskilled labor. And as we all know about who is skilled and who is unskilled. But in the case of period India, there were no such division of labor. Because of the demand for their product was fixed and limited within the village. Right. As I already told you in the starting of my lecture, villages were isolated and self-sufficient. There were usually no trade between them. There was an absence of any competition among the villages. So the product were stereotyped and determined by custom. A barter economy prevailed in the villages. The use of money was very rare. I hope in this lecture you might be able to understand the what was the condition of Indian economy during before British India, and what was the structure of villages and the organization during the before British India. Right. In next lecture, I will discuss the village administration and some other topics. So keep watching next video to more update from this particular topic. Thank you so much.